Kuyabonakala ukuthi sizoba baningi kakhulu. Kubalulekile ke comrades ukuthi wonke umuntu asetlile, meaning ahlale phansi. Bese ke comrades kuthuleke, angisho comrades. Umuntu ozokhuluma okwamanje yimi uprogram director. Bese ke ninonke nisipheni indlebe nithuleni comrades, siyavumelana. Uma senza njalo ke sizoyenza ukuthi umsebenzi wethu uhambe ngendlela efanele futhi nangendlela enesidima. So ama officials ke we-African National Congress wakwi region sicela ukuthi wonke umuntu ome ngaphandle sim-advise ukuthi athathe isitulo ahlale phansi ngendlela equiet. Sifuna ukuqala ke ngeprogram yethu. Bantu abadala uma ngikhuluma ngicela kungasakhulumi umuntu. Comrades, let me sicela ukuthi kuthuleke lapho ku angeke sikhuzane nawe umuntu omdala. Sinohlelo ke lwethu lwale memorial lecture, and before sizo acknowledge everyone, DP, I just want to run through the program of this memorial lecture so that wonke umuntu abe at the same understanding on how the program is going to unfold. I-item yokuqala comrades sizoba ne-opening and welcome by usihlalo we-region. Ngizama ukucheka angimboni kahle. Kodwa I will improvise as a program director. Bese ke item number 2 sibe ne singing of national anthem, umobe wesizwe. After a national anthem, we will call upon the representative of the ANC Gauteng PTT to render some remarks and at the same time introduce our keynote speaker. And then our keynote speaker will take the center stage to present the lecture on President General O.R Tambo. Athi masekaqedile ke comrades will sing iliza lesidinga lakho bese sithola a vote of thanks. And that will lead us to the end of the memorial lecture. So ayinayo ke question, discussion and clarity. It's a memorial lecture. So let me take this opportunity to officially introduce myself. My name is Comrade Jongizizwe Dabati, member of the ANC and the Regional Secretary of the African National Congress in Ekurhuleni. I wish to greet Ngenhlonipho, our Deputy President of the African National Congress, Comrade Paul Mashatile, who is also the Deputy President of the country. And we really appreciate, DP, that in the midst of your busy schedule, you managed to accord us some time. I know we have an NWC member that is taking place, but out of respect for President Tambo, you chose to be here with us, and that will not go unnoticed. Acknowledge all the members of the National Executive Committee might be present. Acknowledge the leadership of the ANC Gauteng Provincial Task Team, led by Comrade Amos Masondo. I don't have the authority to call you Braambi. It's the DP who will call you that. And all other PTT members who are present. I wish to take this opportunity to equally acknowledge the collective that I serve with, all members of the Regional Executive Committee of Ekurhuleni region, recently elected, led by Comrade Dr. Kagaza. Let me acknowledge, comrades, our guests from the Eastern Cape, as connected nabo quite strongly, and they were fully present during the reed laying in the morning. They are from Inguza Hill, Winnie Mandela, O.R Tambo, as well as Alfred Nzo. And I would request that comrades Nipagameni Banboneni, our comrades from Eastern Cape. Sibaqhubeleni izandla. Comrades, I wish to acknowledge all the public representatives that are here, who are deployed by the African National Congress within the city of Ekurhuleni. But most importantly, comrades, sifuna acknowledge nina ama-member we-African National Congress. Enishiye konke nasabela kwi-invitation by the region ethi sicela ukuthi sihlanganyene sonke to commemorate our President General O.R Tambo. And DP, in advance, we must acknowledge the regional head of mobilization, our RC deployees in Dizaputini for the sterling work that they have done in making sure that we are properly organized and that we are well mobilized. So all protocol observed here, comrades, so that nakhona ekshiyekile ngaphandle sik acknowledge by all the protocol observed. With the powers vested in me, I wish to welcome to the podium the Deputy Regional Secretary, Comrade Muibone Mhlongo, just to come and officially welcome us. Thank you very much.
Labanta bamya, elele Tambo, elele labanta bamya, elele Tambo, elele labanta bamya, elele lokokobe, elele labanta bamya. Bamya, elele Tambo, elele labanta bamya, elele Tambo, elele labanta bamya. Amandla awethu wathinta abafazi, wathinta imbokodo. Long live the undying spirit of President Regional Tambo. Long live. Long live the undying spirit of President Oliver Regional Tambo. Long live. Va Ekurhuleni va. Thank you very much, Comrade RS. Let me greet and acknowledge Deputy President of the ANC, our convener of the PTT, Comrade Amos, the leadership of the REC as led by our regional secretary, Comrade Chongizizwe, the leadership of the ANC Women's League in the province and the region, the leadership of the ANC Youth League, the ANC Veterans League, leaders of the MKLWV, the real MK of 1961, We greet the Progressive Youth Alliance, of which we are a product of, COSAS, SASCO, the YCL, the ANC Youth League. Our alliance partners, the South African Communist Party and SANCO, we greet COSATU. We want to also acknowledge the Executive Mayor of the O.R Tambo Municipality, Councillor Umesuli Ngondwana, Mayor Councillor Pepping of Inguza Hill Municipality, Mrs. B. Vacha, the Speaker of Inguza Hill Municipality, Councillor M.I. Nkungu, the Council Whip of Inguza Hill Municipality. Comrades, can we settle down? I'm not Xhosa, I don't know how to say the term. Ngumshangane, so I don't know. I'm trying, I'm doing my best. Thank you very much, comrades. Let's settle down. We acknowledge the Winnie Madikizela Mandela Municipality, Umeya, Councillor Taniswa Mafubata, together with the Speaker, Councillor Zitobile Mshwazi, the Whip of Council, Councillor Manono Mpele. In Alfred Nzo, we acknowledge the Mayor, Councillor Vugile Mshelembana, the clergy. Long live the ANC, long live. Long live the Revolutionary Alliance, long live. Amandla. Away too. Comrades, it is with great humility and revolutionary pride that I welcome all of you this year to O.R Tambo's memorial lecture here in Whiteville, the home and the final resting place of one of Africa's greatest sons of the soil, Isitwalandwe Siaparangwe, President Oliver Kaizen Reginald Tambo. Today, comrades, we gather here not only to commemorate the 108th anniversary of the leader of our liberation, but to reflect deeply on his teachings, on his values, on his enduring vision for a just, united, and prosperous South Africa. Comrade Deputy President, earlier today at the wreath-laying ceremony, we were taken down a profoundly emotional memory lane by Comrade Tutali Tambo, the son of Oliver Tambo. As you comrades may know, in 1982, in Dar es Salaam, in Tanzania, Comrade President Tambo suffered a mild stroke, where he was unfortunately struck by a severe variant of the same stroke again on the 8th of August in 1989. In the ANC Kabwe National Consultative Conference in Zambia in 1985, President O.R. informed delegates about his ailing state of health, and he affirmed the following, open quote, he said, "Comrades, my health is not good, but what remains of it will be consumed in the course of the struggle. Uphi lo mhlobo onjengomdala uTambo Maqabane, a person that sacrificed his life to the revolution until the end, even in his ill health." Comrades, O.R Tambo was not just a leader of the African National Congress. He was its moral compass. He was a man of discipline, a man of humility and principle, who believed that leadership is not about power, but about service. He taught us revolutionary morality must be the foundation upon which the ANC stands. And the revolutionary morality, comrades, is what we must find again today, so that we can take the ANC to bring it back to being great again. Tambo's life, comrades, reminds us that the struggle for freedom is not won in one generation. It must be renewed, it must be defended, and it must be advanced by each generation that inherits it. He warned us that the movement that forgets its values will lose its soul. And today, as the ANC, we must take that warning to heart very gravely. The lessons that we have learned, comrades, from O.R Tambo is that from his life we learn unity over division. The ANC in Ekurhuleni is an attestment that with unity of purpose we can achieve anything. Today you have a united leadership of the region that is leading you and is going to ensure that we lead you into greater strides as the ANC in this region. mobilizing Africa and the world behind the cause of South Africa's liberation, he taught us that a united movement can withstand any storm, but a divided one will perish. We learned discipline and humility in leadership. Tambo was never driven by personal ambition. He served with quiet dignity, guided by the collective. He was always prioritizing the people above himself. We learned the power of education and ideas. He believed that the liberation of the mind was as important as the liberation of the land. He once said, comrades, the fight for freedom must go hand in hand with the fight for education. Today, as we face the challenges of unemployment, inequality, and poverty, we must renew our commitment to building a capable state, a strong institutions, and an economy that works for the poor and marginalized. In relation to service delivery and governance, comrades, when we assumed office last year, we made a solemn commitment to restore stability, to accelerate service delivery, and to also rebuild the confidence of our people in local government. After a long and difficult period following the COVID-19 pandemic, the city's financial performance has shown a positive trajectory. The first quarter report, comrades, for the current financial year has been released and is now with the Auditor General. And we are pleased to inform you, comrades, that the city is on a good path. These are strong indicators that Ekurhuleni's financial state is healthy and sustainable, giving us renewed confidence in our governance systems and service delivery capacity. Our councillors in Ekurhuleni have capacity, comrades. Our revenue collection has improved significantly, enabling us to reinvest in infrastructure upgrades, to maintain critical services, as well as to modernize our facilities. What must we do, comrades, to emulate Comrade President Oliver Tambo? Comrades, to emulate President Tambo, we need to renew the ANC. We need to restore its moral standing and reconnect it with the hopes of our people. It means that we must return to the values of honesty, of service, and selflessness. It means that we must rebuild unity and trust within our movement and among our people. It means we must ensure that our governance in municipalities, in provinces, and nationally reflects the discipline and integrity of President Tambo. As Ekurhuleni, the home of O.R Tambo, we carry a very special responsibility, comrades. We must ensure that his legacy lives on, not only in memorial lectures such as this one. It shows that we must serve our communities. We must deliver services to our communities. It must be seen in how we conduct ourselves as public officials of the ANC. Let us remember, comrades, O.R Tambo did not only lead a movement, he built a nation of generational leaders. It is now our turn to build the next generation, one that will defend democracy, to deepen freedom and fulfill the vision of a non-racial, non-sexist and prosperous South Africa. Just as I conclude, comrades, borrowing from the keynote of our Deputy Minister, who was acting Deputy President in the morning at the wreath laying, Comrade Mondli, he made a profound assertion that in any human society in the world, for there to be human progress, for civilization to flourish, we need vision, we need transformation and leadership. O.R Tambo was an epitome of pure excellence, sheer brilliance, unparalleled distinction. More specifically, academic excellence was one of his forte. Comrades, we stand before you today to welcome you to the great city of Ekurhuleni, the city of peace. Amandla! Away to...
No, thank you very much, DRS. Apologies for intimidating you when I stood up. Thank you very much for welcoming us. Comrades, siyacela ukuthi masiphakameni sonke abobaba bakhulule igqoko bese sithole umhobe wesizwe inkosi sikelele Africa. Ibambe kancane comrades. Bambe kancane comrades. Bashilo ukucula siyakuthanda. Sizokwenza kahle orderly. Bengisacela nje umama oyedwa okanye ubaba asilide inkosi sikelele Africa. Aluphakanyiswa ukhondo lwayo, izwa imithandazo yethu Nkosi, sikelela thina lusapho lwayo. Shabasa Yesu, ufekise intwali mazwenye, usikuluke, usikuluke, sichabasa Yesu, sichabasa South Africa, South Africa, Etikofan onsenyeme, Editidefan onsie, Woronsieve, sounds the call to come together and united we shall stand. Let us live and strive for freedom in South Africa, our land. Thank you very much, Siyabonga. We can sit down. Ningasipha ke comrades a strong revolutionary song as we welcome O.R Tambo to come. Asibambe qabani. O.R Tambo, the stage is yours.
Mandla, Matla, Matimba, all power, all power. Mkristiano, mvumele, mbeka mazwane bagaki, mphefumule kancane nje. Ngoba usuku namhlanje usuku memorial lecture. So umphako wethu sokuphuma siwuphethe la. Umphako ozophuma lapha ku Deputy President. Esohamba ngawo ube izona sikhali zethu. Kulempi enkulu esibhekane nayo. We all know, comrades, that our struggle did not start yesterday. It's a struggle that dates back many years. Ikhona ingoma lapha eculwayo ithi lengoma ungakhali mntanami, ungakhali mntanami, lo mzabango sukuwona waqalwa wokhokho bethu. So the struggle continues, and each and every one of us must do the best they can to take us from one level to the other. Mandela warned us, as we all know, uthi mayekhuluma Mandela ngendaba ye-unity, the strong organization, uthi the cornerstone of the ANC, it's unity. Unity, unity, unity. I then want to call on stage the Deputy President, Comrade Paul Mashatile, to come and deliver to us the memorial lecture. But as he does so, we must always remember that there have always been pillars in the struggle. People who have helped to point the way forward, who have ensured that we do not lose direction as we travel this difficult road into the future. Umandela wayekhona emzabalazwe, Umandela wayekhona emzabalazwe, 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 emzabalazwe. Usisulu wayekhona emzabalazwe, usisulu wayekhona emzabalazwe, 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 emzabalazwe. O.R Tambo wayekhona emzabalazwe, O.R Tambo
Matla. Oliver Tambo. Bisanda. 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 Oliver Tambo. Usibombo ngasiyekele. Bisanda. Unzimeni. Oliver Tambo. Bisanda. Oliver Tambo. Usibombo ngasiyekele. Bisanda. Mandla phela kunaphakade baba Oliver Tambo phela kunaphakade President Oliver Tambo phela kunaphakade Long live the African National Congress. Long live. Mayikhule ANC, mayikhule. Mayiqine ANC, mayiqine. Phambili ngabo mama, phambili. Forward with the ANC Women's League, forward. Phambili ngabantu abasha, phambili. Forward to the ANC Youth League, forward. Phambili ngabahlali, phambili. Forward to Sanko, forward. Phambili ngamakomanisi, phambili. Forward to the SACP, forward. Mandla. Nkhohlwa veteran. Phambili ngama-veteran, phambili. Phambili ngama-veteran, phambili. Sekusele bani? Sekusele bani? Okay. I'm a veteran. I'm including MK military war veterans. Yeah, I include them. Phambili ngamasotsha omkhonto, phambili. Chairperson of the African National Congress here in Ekurhuleni, Comrade Dr. Tagaza. Regional Secretary here in Ekurhuleni, Comrade Jongi Zizwe Labati, all members of the Regional Executive Committee here present, leadership of the ANC from the province led by Comrade Amos Masondo Upraambi, leaders of the ANC Youth League who are present here with us, leaders of the ANC Women's League, Veterans League, and all across our structures, leaders of COSAS, SASCO, and the Young Communist League, leaders of our branches, our zonal structures, all of the ANC, SANCO, COSATU, SACP, and all the MDM structures. Let me also recognize all of you members of the ANC from all the branches of our organization and the alliance, but more importantly, all comrades and the community of Wardville. Lastly and not least, the family of O.R Tambo, those who are here with us today, and of course our guests from the Eastern Cape. They've already been introduced. I also recognize you and also welcome you most heartily. Comrades, all of you, Sanbonani, Dumelang, Molweni, good afternoon, Goeie middag, and Dimachelo. No, Ndimatekwa ni riperile. Comrades and compatriots, I bring you revolutionary greetings from the National Executive of the African National Congress. I'm honored today to join all of you as we celebrate and remember the life of Comrade Oliver Reginald Tambo, an outstanding revolutionary and a statesman par excellence. Comrade Tambo loved the people and loved the ANC dearly. His life, sacrifice and dedication to the liberation of black people in general and Africans in particular will remain an important part not only of the history of the African National Congress, but the history of South Africa and the continent at large. As the ANC, we should never forget or even neglect to remember him and let his life and teachings guide us in this path towards total liberation of the people and the equal, democratic, and prosperous country that he lived for. Born on the 27th of October, this day, 1917, in Bizana in the Eastern Cape in South Africa, Oliver Reginald Tambo was a dedicated teacher and lawyer who became one of the founding members of the African National Congress Youth League in 1944. Wayiqala ke i-Youth League anabo comrade Walter Sisulu, Nelson Mandela, A.B. Mda, and others. Basesebancane, they were still in their youth. Comrade Tambo played a crucial role in the fight against apartheid, serving as a key leader in the ANC, working closely with other anti-apartheid activists, as I said, including Secretary General Walter Sisulu and former President Nelson Mandela, amongst others. But of course, for the young people to understand the history, Comrade Oliver Tambo was also Deputy President of the ANC to Chief Albert Luthuli since 1955. So it's important for the Youth League to remember that. He then, of course, rose from that position to become the president of the ANC, a position which he served for more than 30 years. Longest serving president of the African National Congress. Comrades, amongst other key legacies of Comrade O.R Tambo, or that Comrade O.R Tambo left us as the ANC, is unity. I think other comrades who spoke before me emphasize that issue of unity. Masibambaneni, kharetshwaraneng. Unity of the African National Congress, but more importantly, the unity of all our people. That's what he was committed to. But one of the legacies of O.R Tambo became the significance of solidarity. Solidarity became one of the important weapons during the years of the struggle against oppressive regimes. Of course, after he was appointed, Comrade Tambo became a formidable leader crisscrossing the African continent and the world. He continued to advocate for the end of apartheid, mobilizing international support and leading the ANC effort to isolate the apartheid regime in the continent but also globally. When we stand today with the people of Palestine, it is because we have a deeper understanding of what it means to be oppressed and have the world stand by you. That solidarity that Comrade Tambo advocated throughout his life. The world supported our struggle against apartheid, and therefore we can never forget or betray what O.R Tambo stood for. The unity of our people and the solidarity of all oppressed people. We must continue to fight for peace in the rest of the world. This includes continuing to work towards silencing the guns in Africa and ensuring that there will be peace and security in this continent. But we're not ending in this continent. We must support peaceful efforts throughout the world where ordinary people, sometimes young women and children, are being killed and maimed. We must continue to support peaceful efforts in all those areas. I have just returned with my team from Senegal and South Sudan as part of our efforts of pushing for peace in that part of the world. And we are doing so as part of strengthening the relationship with our brothers and sisters in the continent and assisting them to work for peace. If we look at South Sudan today, we are encouraged by efforts that we see. When I was there 2 weeks ago, it was clear that all the parties to the revitalized agreements are beginning to agree that they must hold peaceful elections. And if they continue to hold to that revitalized agreement, we will have free and fair elections in South Sudan by the end of 2026, in December next year. That's the plan. Of course, when you push for peaceful efforts, it's not that easy. Even when we were there were other challenges. So you must always try and bring everybody together. But Program Director, we also continue to support the people of Palestine, particularly for the attainment of the two-state solution, living side by side with Israel. We support ceasefire in Gaza, and we also support the liberation of the people of Western Sahara. We also continue to work for peace in the DRC and other parts of the continent. As we have learned from O.R Tambo, key components of the revolutions include strategy, dedication, selflessness, and guided patience. These characteristics are grounded in putting the people first and ensuring that the gains of the revolution benefit the majority of the previously oppressed and downtrodden. We remain inspired by O.R Tambo's leadership and vision for a free and democratic South Africa. We know that it is because of him that today we can sing and celebrate that the ANC has now attained 113 years of existence. 113 years of existence. This is not by accident. It's because of the efforts of, amongst others, President Oliver Reginald Tambo and those of his generation. The ANC in this 113 years of existence, of course, have also faced challenges. But because of the efforts of and the teachings of Comrade O.R Tambo, the ANC remains today as an organization that continue to carry the hopes and aspirations of South Africans. It continues to be regarded as the leader of society, and it's up to us to continue that tradition. Comrades and compatriots, allow me to take this time to reflect briefly on the tasks that the ANC and the ANC in government should focus on in this current period. When I say government, I mean at all levels, national, provincial, and local government, our municipalities. Specifically as we approach local government elections next year, 2026. The point of departure, comrades, is that as the African National Congress, we have not done enough to improve the lives of South Africans. We must take accountability for this. But most importantly, we must also strategize on how we can correct the mistakes and turn things around for the better. Ibaluleke kakhulu lento macabana ukuthi sibheke la kube kwaba namaphutha khona into zangahambi kahle silungisa ngithi, because it's only when we accept that there were challenges and mistakes that we can fix. Only when we accept. If we don't, we won't be able to fix. So we must introspect and say, ay makabani la akuhambanga kahle, o mhlambi la siyesafa ku cancel o wrong, asifaka cancel o right, o la mhlambi hayi azange sifake umeya o right or uminister o right, silungise lezo zinto. That's what we need to do. Our people expect that from us. They expect that we will strategize as Oliver Tambo did. correct the mistakes, turn things around. The ANC of O.R Tambo sacrificed and fought for all of us. So today we can enjoy the fact that we are now regarded as a leader of societies because of their work. The challenge for us is to sustain that achievement of being a leader of society. We must sustain that. Singayiluzi, singaluzi leso status. Comrades, the ANC remains committed to the process of renewal and rebuilding. Umaskhuluma nge-renewal, I know many people may think of different things. It's not a problem. But renewal, ukuthi silungise izinto, sizilungise kabusha, sifundise. You know, one of the things we do a lot these days, Comrade Secretary, ile political school angithi. Bakhona abaningi abafike ku-ANC bangayazi. Bayathanda kodwa. Kodwa uma singabafundisi bazwe izinto ezirong. So the process of renewal and rebuilding includes teaching those who come in the ways of the ANC, or dare I say the correct ways of the ANC. If we don't, singamangali benza into ezisicakayo ngoba sibafundisa. So it's important that we must continue to rebuild and renew for the African National Congress to be strong. There are a few things that I think we need to do to concretize this process of renewal of the ANC. When the president was addressing our councillors recently, nizawukhumbula lapha Johannesburg, he emphasized these following points, what he called the 6 pillars of the ANC action plan. What to President? Firstly, we must prioritize a deep understanding of the emotional needs and concerns of our people. Thina samalunga, not just councillors. All of us must understand these people that we are saying we are serving in communities. Yini ikhalo zabo, yini into ebahluphayo. That's the first thing we must do. Understand the challenges. In our communities, there's the challenges of poverty, the challenges of unemployment, inequality. The big question is that are members and leaders of our movement understanding that? So what to President, that's the first thing we must understand. The second one, he said, as the ANC, we should craft a compelling narrative that resonates with the people, highlighting a vision, policies, and achievements. This narrative should be communicated in a way that is reliable, relatable, inspiring, inclusive. And once he said that, the National Executive Committee then said, also emphasize that there are other 10 issues that needs to be done. Because now we want to ensure that our people understand us, but we must understand them first. Because we are their servant. You know, Mao is servant to Tunyiwe. Meloaz go to Tunyiwe go to Enza. So that's a very important thing. The National Executive Committee said one of the things that the President asked us to do is to reignite the economy. Reignite the economy across all sectors. Because if you don't do that, abantu abakwazi ukuyithola imisebenzi if you don't reignite the economy. So the first thing that we said we will do is that masilungise lento ye-electricity. Ngiyazi inhluphile kakhulu. Yanhlupha kakhulu lento. So gijimele ekhaya ukuthi hey iqala nini? Hey ngiyopheka nini? So the government has now taken upon itself that must be fixed to ensure that there is a reliable supply of energy to our people. And one of the things that we are busy finalizing, that we are going to put 14,000 kilometers of new transmission. Ukuthi ugesi ufikelele even to people who are in deep rural areas. That program has started. As we speak, the Minister of Energy is finalizing our process of appointing companies to do that. So ibaluleke kakhulu. Ngiyathanda ukuthi I'm sure nimzwile Sputla uminister uthe lento ye load shedding ngathi hayi siyayidefeata manje. Sengathi ungahlala kunjalo. And that's our determination, comrades, ukuthi hey ingabuyi lenkinga. Swalungisa wonke lama power stations, everything. Enye into esibili ukuthi ama logistics mawabe right. Transportation of goods, abo Transnet, abo Prasa, mabalunge, intimela mafane zifike mazifike. Mazifike itimela, mafane zifike. Lezi zithwala izinto zifane zihambe ziye kude, but ama goods freight mazibe khona zisebenze. So we are fixing all that. Selungisa nento zama mine, ama manganese, ama chrome, and lebaluleke kakhulu comrades, because South Africa has got critical minerals. Lots of them, manganese, chrome, you name them, lithium and so on. Lama minerals abaluleke kakhulu afunwa amazwe wonke, but we must use them for our own benefit first. Siyazwana. So the critical minerals we have must be for the benefit of South Africans first, before we export. Because when we do that, we will do what we call local beneficiation. In other words, we produce goods here in the country. And when we produce goods here in the country, that's what we must do. Local beneficiation. The fourth issue, state capacity for major projects is an important intervention. Uma ukhulumeni anganako ukwenza izinto, anganayo icapacity, we won't achieve any of this. Umasiqasha abantu, whether is a city manager or CFO, masiqashe nabantu aba-right, abane capacity, because then we'll make sure that the state has capacity. When the state has capacity, the state will be able to deliver. That's what is important. Another intervention, local economic development. The president uqale something called the district development model, that when national government delivers services, it must work with the province and work with local government. Ukomrade Kagaza agege ahlalela azwe. There was a minister of education somewhere like Ekurhuleni opening a school, but he doesn't know. President said we mustn't work like that. When national government want to do something in Ekurhuleni, the province must know. So Ubaba Masondo must know that we have capacity to build a school in Ekurhuleni. The mayor must know. So that we pool our resources together. We can't come and build a school here and then we go to the mayor and say, please can you develop a road to the school, which he didn't budget for. So the district development says one government, one plan. Working together, pulling together. That's how we're going to improve the way we do things. Supporting small, medium enterprises. We have also my business abancane nigcwele la niyazenzela. There must be support from government for small businesses to thrive. You know, in many countries that are developed, the economy is anchored by small, medium enterprises. So we are now doing the same in South Africa, that the anchors of our economic growth and development must include the support for small, medium enterprises. Siyavumelana ngithi. Omaso business abancane babaluleke kakhulu emphakathini. Zikhona izinto esizithenga elokishini that you don't need to go le kulama shop amakhulu angithi uvela ujike la ikhoneni uthola into ozifunayo. So the government recognizes that and we are putting big support for that. Enye into sivumelane ngayo is that we as South Africa must use the African Continental Free Trade Area. This is an agreement, yama tariffs in the continent. Good, we can trade amongst one another in the continent without these heavy tariffs. We must use that because a lot of African continents want goods and services from South Africa. So we must ensure that the African Continental Free Trade Area benefit South Africa and also work with the countries of BRICS and the new markets. New markets is balulekile ngoba in a situation where America is putting high tariffs, we must look for other markets. Singahlali isikhale ukuthi you know, hey, asiyonengani kwa Trump. We need to go to other markets. Says one. That's why President akekho namhlanje, he was in Asia. Uhamba kwamanye amazwe so that eMelika ufamba shanga ama tariffs amakhulu. Says good, we can trade elsewhere rather than sit and cry. So kubalulekile lokho. We need to have new markets. Sihamba ngale ndlela kaTambo ye solidarity. Niyabona angayilahli. Iyo. O.R Tambo went all over the world to get support. In fact, when America didn't support our struggle, we didn't sit and cry. O.R went to the Soviet Union. Site only support. And the other countries. So it's the same thing. Enzeka namhlanje. Uma basihlukumeza ngase West sinabanye abangani. Where we are going to continue to trade. Program Director, to implement most of this economic intervention, the NEC has resolved that we must have what we call an economic war room. We must establish an economic war room. This will be done in the presidency. The presidency as a center of government will have the economic war room to ensure that everything we do has got clear time frames, it's being monitored, And where things are not happening, there will be consequences. Akuna muntu ozonzenzela nje. Barai hamuso warama posa raikeletsa ifedile ntwe. We are going to hold people to account. We are going to hold people to account. We are professionalizing the public service to achieve that. Because otherwise, if we don't do that, we will have all these good ideas. But if we don't enforce accountability, we don't monitor, things can fall apart. So the war room by the president is going to do exactly that. Ukuthi akuna manzenzela abantu mabaripote mabanikeza umsebenzi uma bahluleka umuntu makeza asho ukuthi hey mina sengiyahluleka sikwazi kufaka abanye angithi uzohlalelana umuntu ohluleka. So mawuhluleka phuma sifaka abanye kodwa ayekho yokuthi siyazenzela khwayikeletswa taba yayikeletswa ayisaliyo. Babuqhakaza uyenze kanjalo nakumasipala ifaki war room braambi faki war room lapha ku province kungabi nabantu abazenzela umathanda. Kuyareportwa la kuna accountability siya monitora uma uhluleka sivula umnyango uthi ungakhululeka. So that's what we're going to do. The other thing, comrades, I want to emphasize is that when we say we want to draw from the legacy of O.R Tambo to rebuild the ANC, what is it exactly what we do? I want to suggest that we should focus on being transparent, being accountable, and being responsive to the needs of our people. That's the legacy of O.R Tambo. And this also includes demonstrating our commitment to the welfare of the people. We must live with the principle of Moses Kotane, which says, revolution ke batho. Revolution ke batho. Ha batho ba siyo ha una revolution. So we must be responsive to the needs of our people, deal with their challenges, and make sure that we address them properly. Fourthly, we must empower communities, making sure there are resources at local level, that people are skilled at local, including our councillors. We were meeting today with our comrades from the Northwest, and I was saying to them, one of the things we need to do when we appoint comrades as councillors, they are not born with the skills. We need to train them. Because sometimes we make the mistake that what councillor songenile uyazi ukuthi wenzani. No, babuqhakaza mabatrainwe ama comrades. Mabatrainwe baqeqeshwe. It's important that we do that, because by doing that we are empowering them and we are also empowering communities. Those training programs must be there. There are even schools and universities that are willing to provide these courses for our councillors in our communities. But also we must empower communities to be able to get involved in tasks in communities. Akufuneki ukuthi yonke into esiyenzayo iyenza ama company amakhulu. Sometimes mawulungisa ufaka ama pothole. You don't need big companies. Casha khona la ilokishini. Just bring them. It's not, Abu Mama, I'm sure it's not difficult to uqeqeshwe ukuthi ungavala ipothole. Ayifuni degree leyo nto. So there are tasks that we must do in our communities that don't require big companies, which we as the municipalities don't have to outsource, but we hire people in communities, we empower them to do these jobs. Comrades, what we want to do is that O.R Tambo would want us to foster a sense of belonging across race, class, gender, by promoting inclusivity, diversity, and social cohesion. We have always fought for a non-racial and non-sexist prosperous country. We must continue with that as the African National Congress to build on that legacy of O.R Tambo. One of the things the president is doing now that you are aware of, he has called for a national dialogue so that South Africans can talk where government is not doing well. The national dialogue is a very important process that is bringing everybody on board so that we fix this country together going forward. This is what we want to do. So we have resolved that this process must be like nation building, social cohesion, bringing everybody together. That's the legacy O.R Tambo has left us, to say, ayikho into singayenza without unity. Ayikho into singayenza without the people. We must never forget that. Whatever we do, noma singaya kuphi kube nama program trainiwe, let's not forget the people. We must always be with the people. As I draw to a close, I want to emphasize the following. We are going to have the G20 now in November. The G20 summit, which will be hosted by South Africa, is actually the first to be hosted by an African country. We are the first. Now, let me remind you that President O.R Tambo was an internationalist. He was an internationalist. So we have this privilege that we have been chosen as an African country to host the world here in November. Most of the ministers have been coming and going, but the heads of states and government are arriving now in November. And bonile laphe Joburg bavali trata, they were practicing ukuthi singabi nohlazo. So ningakwati ne ukuthi banivalela, but no bafuna ukubona ukuthi on the day how are they going to manage this, because we don't want when the heads of state arrive, hey, asazi ukuthi senzani. So that's what they are preparing for, because to have more than 20 heads of states arriving in the country is a big thing. But we have decided as South Africa that let this benefit not only South Africa, but the continent as a whole. So this G20 is a G20 of the African continent, where once again we have emphasized the issue of sustainability, equality, and solidarity. Sibuyela futhi to the teachings zika OR. Good for us to succeed as South Africa, we must be able in the long run to pull others with us. Solidarity le. Good. Africa will never succeed by the fact that South Africa has a growing economy alone, developed society alone. Don't. It must be the continent. We must help the continent to be able to strive. Because others, if we are a small corner of success and excellence, then everybody else wants to come here. But if we develop the whole continent, people will be able to stay in their countries and also develop there. So, as part of that African Continental Free Trade Area, let's do that. But once again, solidarity is key in whatever we do. I want to urge all of us, comrades, to remain committed to the attainment of a non-racial, non-sexist, equal and democratic society that Comrade O.R Tambo aspired for. This requires that all of us as members of the ANC must have a sense of ownership and shared purpose of what the ANC can do to rebuild trust. And more importantly, win the hearts and minds of our people by getting involved in real action. On the ground, speech. We must join people on the ground, do things, work with them, as we have been doing some of the areas. We even have started clean-up campaigns and other things. We are working with the people. Government is not going to go out to clean for people, it cleans with them. With our people. So we must say, as I conclude, that the ANC belongs to the people of South Africa. Reskai monopolize rona the members. It belongs to all the people of South Africa, and those of us who are in it must be good custodians that carries this vehicle or look after this vehicle that carries the hopes of our people. Siphathe kahle, or as Comrade Masondo will say, simphathe kahle uKhongolose. That's what Amos Masondo says. He doesn't say ANC, he says uKhongolose. Simphathe kahle uKhongolose. Ngoba owabantu. Kwabantu. Mutshware hantle khono ahole asebeletse batho. With those few as comrades, I want to thank the leadership of the region for always arranging these events. Never forget, we are really proud of you as a national leadership for, holding the fort always. I know there was a memorial, not a memorial lecture, a wreath laying in the morning, memorial lecture now, but this happens every year. I want to thank our comrades, brothers and sisters from the Eastern Cape for having come to join us here. We will continue working with you, even in the Eastern Cape. And continue to build this beautiful organization. Long live the spirit of Oliver Tambo, long live. Long live the African National Congress, long live. Long live the ANC, long live. Maikuli ANC, maikule. Maikini ANC, maikine. Amandla. Matla. Asina mona, asina nzondo, siyayidumisa ANC.
Mandla. Comrades, masiculeni ingoma eyi-1 singahlangahlangani. DRS, please lead us.
Asayeleni Deputy President izandla comrades. Long live the Deputy President of the ANC, Comrade Paul Mashatile. Long live. Long live the DP of the ANC, Comrade Paul Mashatile. Long live. Thank you very much, DP. Amon Gulele Kona. Aminezwa kahle comrades. Amon Gulele Kona. Endruma Petro Ikona. No, akuse yakho comrade regional chair. Yours is Amon Gulele. Oh, you are both. Bavumele Vilagazi, are you here? God, it's one branch. Bavumele Vilagazi, are you here? David Pupape, are you here? David Pupape, are you here? Comrade Impo, when are you an REC employee? Every day one a Okay, let's check. Giza Putini, are you here? Bengithe ngifuna abantu abayi 1000 kini. Giza Putini, are you here? Chairman, ngiyathuka ngizafika kweyami izoni kube kuphi. Grace Latela, are you here? Okay. No comrades from Grace Latela, you must be here because the regional head of mobilization is from your zone. Okay, Oscar Mabika. Nokho DRS ukhona. Paul Sihlu. Silupethema. Ya nokho ngathi khona